everyone, welcome back to our channel and look where we are.
On our first trip after the quarantine.
Actually, I thought we wouldn't be able to travel.
Right, yeah. They changed the policy very fast. We've been cooped up for almost 4 months. Very excited.
Finally get out of the city.
Finally leave after 4 months. And finally we're let off the leash and we can really explore outside the city for the first time in a long time.
It was really a hard time for people like us, because we quite like traveling and like to be outside, and because of the quarantine measures it's actually quite hard. Even though you can just walk on the street, but it's really hard to leave the city because once you leave
you have to quarantine.
And then you come back and you need to be quarantined for 14 days, and so we're like, maybe we just spend our time in Beijing in this location. But then they just lift the ban 2-3 days before the vacation.
Yeah, and they released it very fast. So first of all, they said you can travel to the provinces just immediately outside Beijing, and then 2 days before now, essentially, they suddenly released the whole country you can travel to. So obviously now everything's opened up to us, and we want to explore. As long as it's not
Hubei. But if you go to Hubei, then you still need to do quarantine.
So we found a special place, which is very unique, I think. If you look behind us, you probably would not believe that we're anywhere near Beijing.
It looks Bali.
It looks like Bali, exactly. more like Bali than Beijing. A very clean beach, and actually looking at very clean waters as well.
I'm just very, very happy that we are actually among the first wave of traveling people in China.
You can't see it, but I'm smiling under the mask. What's your first impression?
It's windy. It's pretty windy. And the air is much better.
After living in China for years, we might be able to name 100 things what we enjoy about living here. But it never stops surprising us with its diversity. The landscape, the food, the culture, and all the changes that's taking place right now.
Wow.
We got all these vows
Look at these.
so many times in so many places, just like this.
Probably looked out, will we?
What? We were locked outside.
So today we want to bring you to Yantai. Although it's not a metropolis like Beijing or Shanghai, but it has its own unique charm lying in the north of China.
Now we are in the city of Yantai. From my understanding, Yantai has always been a very important port in the history of China, and still now plays a very important role in the new road
Belt and Road.
And still plays a very important role in this One Belt, One Road initiative. But I guess the ambition and dream of the Yantai people connecting to the world didn't just start now. It actually dates back a long time ago.
Yeah, that's something we didn't know before we came by. So when we got here and we started walking around, we found out actually the history here is really rich and very special actually. Something you wanted to learn more about. We found out actually it used to be a trading port that was very strong back in the 19th century and into the 20th century. So obviously, as you said, these trading ties have been long developed. But the city actually goes further back than that. Over 2,000 years ago, it was also a very important city in the very first dynasty of China. And so what we wanted to see first was the very origins of the city 2,000 years ago and see how it developed.
Yantai's dream of sailing out of the bay and reaching out to the world started with the first emperor in unified China's history, Qin Shi Huang's wish to find an elixir for his eternal youth. It is said that where we are right now in Mountain Ponglai is the closest point to where the fairies live.
秦始皇寻找长生不老药，就到底这个原先叫北岛，当时寻找的就是灵芝。他来了3次没找到，他打算第4次来，但是第3次回到朝廷之后，出现这个身体不适，后来就死了。这个在皇帝这个叫驾崩嘛，第4次就没来了，所以说第4次来不了， 知府岛就是这么来的，原先叫北岛，后来改成知府岛。
I think it's a Taoism temple.
Taoism, like pool, right? Lots of steps here.
So here's the main building.
Yeah, it's a very interesting story, it says here. So after reading this, I didn't know this before. Of course, we already knew it was one of the 4 famous temples in China, but what we didn't know is its purpose, where it was built. It says here that there was obviously 8 famous immortals, and after they got drunk here, they decided to cross the sea. So that's the story. And if we look inside, you can actually see there's a nice painting of those 8 immortals. So the most interesting part of this story is that it formed like an idiom using this phrase, the 8 immortals crossing the sea. They formed a phrase which basically means that one is showing their abilities when they're doing some task. Because when the immortals crossed the sea, they used their own weapons. They didn't use a boat, they used their own weapons to do so.
Talent.
Their talents, yeah, skills, exactly. That's probably the word I'm looking for. So what it's saying essentially is, if you use this idiom in everyday life, for example, there's a group of people and they, and you say to them, oh, this is the 8 immortals crossing the sea, is saying that these people are using their talents to do the task. So
nice
excitement. We found out that you can actually go up the tower, so. Can you get in there? Quite a good model, actually.
This is where they got the alcohol. Now they're all drunk.
Peer pressure was forced to drink a lot, I think.
However, Emperor's journey to the eternal youth was not a success. But his dream supported the voyage of Chinese explorer at early times. In 219 BC, Xu Fu was sent with 3,000 virgin boys and girls to retrieve the elixir of life from the immortals on Mountain Ponglai. It's said he finally reached Japan and have introduced many new plants and techniques there.
This is one of the most beautiful spots, isn't it, in the whole trip so far? Seen right here.
Numerous temples and memorials of Xu Fu can still be found in many places in Japan. Besides the emperor seeking magical elixir, the 8 immortals crossing the sea in the Chinese mythology, this is also the place people said where mirages at the sea were seen and are still seen. So we decided to take this cable car, which are basically the same age as us, to a journey to find it.
You get to see it from another angle. I think on this angle you can really see how it sticks out on the rock, and obviously how it contrasts with the modern city below. You got that old temple in the background.
You can also see it's quite foggy. If it's a real existence or not.
And if you're drunk, then you're going to get carried away, right? Trying to get there. I like the Ponglai Go a lot. It was very interesting, quite beautiful. I think he likes you.
We did not see any mirages, but we definitely fall in love with the city at very first sight. We climbed to the pavilion cliffside perch, passing a number of temples and ancient naval base, and seeing a gorgeous sunset at the end of the trip. We keep wondering, what is it like 1,000 years ago? Did anyone reach a ferry in the mist over the sea? The city is mixed with sandy beach, long history, and Chinese fairy tales. It's a place of contrast, a place of inspiration. However, this charming, dazzling port city offers more than that. Its steps of moving forward was witnessed by time and people, not just locals, but also foreigners too. In 1858, a treaty was signed by the defeated Qing dynasty, the ruler of China at that time, and the Second French Empire, Great Britain, the Russian Empire, and the United States, thus ending the first part of the Second Opium War. The treaty opens more Chinese ports to the foreigners, including Chefoo, which is now Yantai. In our next video, we'll bring you to the journey of colonial time of Yantai. Stay tuned and subscribe, put the notification on so you will know when we post the next video.